All right. Yeah, Luca has glasses. I hope everyone is having a great Thursday so far. We do tomorrow have CIT. So raise, who in here is in CIT?
I don't know, ma'am.
If you do have to be a green belt or above. And you usually have to be 10 or 12. I think it's 10. 10 or above, and other than exceptions by the instructors. So if you are a green belt or above and you have any questions about CIT, you can give us a call here. Miss Katie and Mr. Braden are kind of the instructors that run CIT, but any instructor can kind of help you out with that. Team leaders do have a training today at 2:30. I'm trying to ask Master Lap, but I don't think she can hear me. 2:30. Okay, for team leaders. So that's only if you are a team leader and assistant team leader. Okay, so everyone CIT tomorrow at 6:15. And then we have leaders doing sword right after that. And then at 8 o'clock, we have Masters Club. So, and just like normal, those will all be in the studio on limited basis and virtual as well. So hopefully we'll see you guys all there. I see some new faces on here, people that I haven't seen on here in a little while. So hello, Austin and Timmy and Darius. Darius, I know you're usually on. Your camera's just not usually on. It's good to see everybody. Good to see you guys. Hello, Olivia.
There's a stuffed dog on my head.
I see that. Okay, Skylar, if you have any questions, go ahead and save them until the end, okay? All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and start with stars. So if anyone has any character building sheets to turn in, let's go ahead and do those. Timmy, how many do you have? How many stars?
I'm turning in 8 and in total I have 6.
You're turning in 8 today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And which ones are they?
Character building sheet number 7 and character building sheet number 4.
Okay. And you have 8 total stars on those?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good job, Timmy. Let's clap for Timmy. Good job, good job. All right, who else has some? Rihanna. Rihanna, how many stars do you have to turn in today?
I have 2.
Good, and which ones are they?
I have the India packet and the chapter star sheet.
Very good. Let's clap for Rihanna. Good. Yeah, guys, while we're going through these math chats, make sure you're doing the chapter reviews. That way you get a better understanding of it. You earn some stars and you're prepared for your black belt test. I know there were a few people this last black belt test who rushed to do the book in the last minute, and that's stressful. And you already have enough getting ready for that test, right, Beatrice? There's a lot going on getting ready for your black belt test. With your training and things like that. You don't want to wait and save that book until that last minute. All right, Olivia, how many stars do you have today?
I have 10, the karate homework, book club sheet, self-discipline sheet, and then the chore chart.
Good job. Let's clap for Olivia. All right, who else has some? Beatrice, I think I saw your hand up. Beatrice, how many do you have?
I have 7 stars for the Black Belt Excellent sheet number 6. That one.
Very good. Good job, Beatrice. Good job. Good job. Okay, who else has some? Lane, how many do you have?
I have 4. I have character building sheet 2, 3, 4, and 5, ma'am.
Very good. Good job, Lane. Okay, anybody else? Going on. I see a hand, but I don't see a face. I can't tell who you are. I don't have a name on there either.
I think it's
okay. Who has their hand up? Daquan. Daquan. Hi, Daquan. Daquan, how many stars do you have today?
7.
7. Good. And which character building sheets are you turning in?
It's just the chore chart.
The chore chart. Very good. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Let's clap for Daquan. Good job. Good job. All right. Anybody else? Good. All right. I think we're good. Okay. So we are going into our second chapter in the Psychology of Winning. POW was the acronym for this book. So we did the review yesterday. What is the first? There's 10 qualities of a winner. What was quality number 1? Go ahead and unmute yourself and say it.
Positive self-awareness.
Positive self-awareness. Good. Everybody unmute yourself and say it.
Positive self-awareness.
Positive
Good job.
self-awareness. Positive self-awareness.
Very good.
Positive self-awareness.
Good job, guys. Okay, positive self-awareness. Who knows what the second quality is?
Positive self-esteem.
Positive self-esteem. Very good. Positive self-esteem. I wonder if there's a way for me to share. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and start going into positive self-esteem. Who wants to tell me what self-esteem is? What is positive self-esteem? Go ahead and unmute yourself and say it if you want to take a stab at what positive self-esteem is.
Isn't that like how you see yourself? Basically, yeah.
Yeah, your self-esteem is how you see yourself. So what would positive self-esteem be?
You see yourself well or good.
Yeah, you see the good in yourself. You see yourself in a positive way. Does that mean that you think you're perfect? No, it's saying you see you see everything about yourself. You see the qualities you have, the areas you could improve in, your strengths, your weaknesses. You see everything about yourself and you are happy with that and you like who you are. Guys, please make sure you do not write on the screen. If you're writing on the screen, I'm going to remove you from the mat chat because it takes too much work for me to try to remove the writing every time, okay? I know it happens on accident sometimes, so just please be careful. All right. Actually, I'm going to try to, give me a second. I'll try to change those settings. There we go. Okay. So while I'm doing screen share, remember, if you guys want to ask a question or answer a question, just go ahead and unmute yourself and say something. All right, so positive self-esteem. Everyone write that down, positive self-esteem. Antonyms, what is an antonym?
The opposite.
It's pretty much the opposite of something, right? So self-depreciation, self-doubt, and self-consciousness would be the antonyms of positive self-esteem. What's a synonym?
The same.
The same thing. So self-worth, self-respect, and self-confidence are the same as positive self-esteem. So our loser self-talk in here is I'd rather be somebody else. And who has ever thought that before? Who has ever thought, you know what, it would be really nice to be that person? Usually there's a celebrity or a millionaire or someone who in your class at school who is just so stinking smart, they get everything right away. And you're like, man, it'd be really nice to be that person, right? But that's negative self-talk and that's loser self-talk. So we want to try not to do that as much as possible. We want to recognize the positive in other people, but we want to like ourselves and be happy being ourselves. So the winner self-talk is I like myself. The proverb for this is if you love yourself, then you can give love. How can you give what you don't have? Right? I can't give you money. I can't give somebody money if I don't have any money, right? How am I supposed to give love away? How am I supposed to love other people if I don't love myself? How am I supposed to be a role model if I don't think that I am doing a good job? If I don't think that this is true for black belts and instructors, they have positive self-esteem. They are very confident that who they are is a good person, that they are good role models academically, morally, as martial artists. They have positive self-esteem, and that's how they're able to teach other people. Okay. That's not letting me click the next slide. There we go. All right, self-talk of a winner. You know, I like myself. I really do like myself. Given my parents, my background, I'm glad to be me. I'd rather be me than anyone else living in any other time in history. All right, positive self-esteem. So winning black belts have a feeling of self-worth and confidence. Winners develop a feeling of self-acceptance and respect. And I have some notes on this slide that I want to talk about. So I'm going to kind of switch to the view where I can see it. Maybe. I did it, yes. I did it last time, and I don't know how I did it. Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so when we examine losers and low achievers, an attitude of low self-esteem seems to be at the root of their problems. So think about that. Somebody who, you know, I actually have a friend who shared something on Facebook yesterday, and it was a stack of failures. There's little blocks that all said failure, 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 failure on it. And it had one, and it was a loser, and it had the stack of failures just piled up next to him. He was looking at it. And then it had a winner, and he had the stack of failures set up like stairs, and he was climbing on top of them. So winners are happy with who they are. They accept their failures, they accept their strengths and their weaknesses, and they use that to persevere, right? Losers, the first time something bad happens, they give up. You see that in martial arts a lot. Less than 5% of people who train in martial arts get to black belt. And the reason for that is because it gets hard. Because you have a class where an instructor beats up on you constantly. But seriously, anyone who's ever been to a black belt workout, getting ready for their first black belt test, the purpose of that for the instructor teaching it is to be very, very nitpicky and find every little detail that they could correct in those students to make them an excellent black belt. But somebody without positive self, and we know that our students, by the time they get there, the junior black belts who are in those workouts, they have positive self-esteem, so they can handle that. We would never do that to a white belt class because a lot of those students don't have the positive self-esteem yet, right? Some of them do, but not everybody. So you have to be able to, you have to have positive self-esteem to be able to accept failure and take criticism and take correction and understand that that's a good thing and build on it. Okay, another big thing he talks about in this chapter, what does a winning self-esteem look like? Okay, so, well, why don't you guys answer that? What do you think if someone has winning self-esteem, if they have positive self-esteem, what does that look like? Remember, I can't see everybody, so go ahead and unmute yourselves and tell me.
I don't know.
What does it look like if somebody has positive self-esteem?
They take confidence in their actions.
Yeah, everything they do is with confidence. Everybody in here knows somebody with positive self-esteem. So think about that. You know that have positive self-esteem. What does that look like? That was good, Beatrice. What else do you guys think?
Well, I would think physically they have their head tall, their shoulders are straight, they probably have something like a smile, not a scowl on their face. And I would imagine that they also have, they feel good about their appearance as well. So, they're at least dressed decently. They're not slouching or in cruddy clothes, like they're dirty or anything like that.
Yeah, they take care of themselves and they present themselves the way he talks about that in the chapter, actually. The way that you present yourself on the outside is a reflection of how you feel on the inside, right? So taking care of yourself physically, taking care of yourself with your hygiene, the way you dress, the way you get ready in the morning, that kind of thing, it's part of your self-esteem. Okay, now this part of this too is people with high self-esteem don't necessarily need to flaunt their achievements, right? So there are plenty of really wealthy individuals who will shop at Goodwill or who drive old vehicles because they're responsible and that's not their priority, and they don't feel like they need to be flashy with their car or with their clothes or with their money. You see people with low self-esteem who feel like they have to wear everything has to be Gucci brand and they're, everything, they have to have the fanciest car and the biggest house in the neighborhood and tell everybody how much money they make. Who has ever met somebody who you could tell was trying to brag about the clothes they had, the shoes they had, what they can do, where they live, what their parents let them do, any of that kind of stuff. When you see people bragging like that, most of you guys raised your hands, a lot of times that's a sign of low self-esteem. Okay, so there's a growing tendency today among many individuals to display an array of expensive possessions and outward trappings of affluence. This concentration on status symbol is more likely to say to others that the owner is lacking in self-esteem rather than they are rich. The word esteem literally means to appreciate the value of. So esteem is appreciating the value of. Self is our self. So appreciating the value of ourselves is self-esteem, right? And now that can be good or that can be negative, and we're talking about positive self-esteem. So thinking highly of our self-value. All right, self-confidence. Okay, confidence is built upon the experience of success. When we begin anything new, we have very little confidence because we haven't learned from the experience. So let's talk about martial arts with that. When you guys started karate as a white belt, who in here was very confident in their martial arts? Not very many people, right? Yeah, when you first start, you don't have a whole lot of experience in succeeding. Now, after even a couple months or a couple weeks, you'll get some compliments from instructors or from other people or things like that, and that starts to make you feel like you're doing well, and it builds your confidence. By the time you're black belt, yes, you've had classes where you've been told a lot of things you need to fix, but you also had a lot of classes where people are complimenting. All right, somebody is unmuted. I need you guys. Becky, I'm muting you. Okay. All right. So confidence is built on past successes. We also have to forget about I don't want to say forget about our failures, because the example of martial arts is perfect. When you get criticized, when you lose in a tournament, when something happens that's a failure in karate, what we want to do is we want to be able to accept that, process it, and learn from it. And then let it go and move on. If I still to this day was focused on one day when I was an orange belt, this instructor corrected me, and because of that, I know I'm not a good martial artist, I would never be successful in martial arts, right? And I would never have the confidence in martial arts. So you have to remember to focus on your successes and let go of the failures. That's why we do things like our success books, where we had some people did posters, some people did PowerPoint, some people have done binders where they put all of their achievements. We have a lot of students who have some kind of display in their bedrooms, in their rooms, a wall of their certificates, of their belts. Their belt display is a big one, of their honor roll awards, things like that, all of their achievements. So they're constantly being reminded of their successes, and they're letting go of their failures, right? Okay. Now, most people naturally, what we do is we destroy our confidence by saying, I did really well in school, but these are all the things I did wrong. I did really well in this tournament, but I only got a second place in the world tournament instead of a first. So these are all the things I did wrong, right? So we remember the failures and we forget the successes. And that's what we do naturally. That's what most people do naturally. So we kind of have to make ourselves focus on the positive and let go of the negative. And that's very true with our confidence and our self-esteem. All right, winners use constructive feedback, and losers fall into a trap of saying very negative things to themselves. So some of our, we'll do the losers talk first. I can't, I'm a klutz, I wish, yeah, but I should have done this, or I might have done this. Who has ever said any of those things? I've said every single one of those things, right? And those are natural things for us to say. But winners use constructive feedback. So they say things like, I can, I look forward to, the next time I'll get it right, I'm feeling better. Now, who uses those words? Raise your hand if you use any of those words. All of you guys are martial artists, so you should use some of those words. Those words take effort though, right? They take effort in remembering to say those. When something goes wrong, when you fail at something, it's very natural to say, oh, I should have done this and this went wrong. I saw that yesterday here in the karate studio. Something happened and everyone was talking about what happened and what should have happened and what went wrong and this and this and this and this and this. And instead, if someone were just like, oh, next time, let's do this. We learned this, let's move, you know what I mean? So focusing on the positive, that happens everywhere. You'll see that anywhere you go, you can see somebody focusing on like letting themselves fall into that loser self-talk trap. All right, self-acceptance and respect. Although we are always seeking improvement, the winner with positive self-esteem can accept themselves just as they are in that moment. Okay, so being a winner does not mean, we talked about what we talked about in the last chapter, being aware that you have so much room to grow and room to learn and opportunities to be better is very important in being a winner. If you ever feel like I know everything and I have no room to grow and I've mastered this and you can't teach me anything, you're putting yourself in a very negative spot and you're not going to be able to succeed. But with that being said, winners don't say, I have this room for opportunity. I should be like this. And so I don't like myself with who I am. Winners like who they are. They know that they are good enough, they are smart enough, they are strong enough, they are confident enough, they are successful enough, and this is the area that they can grow in. So there's a balance there, keeping in mind that we have room to grow, but we are enough just the way we are. And we talked about this a little bit too in the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, that positive self-talk, that affects our programming, our brain's programming. Remember, our brains are like a giant computer and we program them. Our programming affects our beliefs, which affects our attitudes, which affects our feelings, which affects our actions. So if we want to be successful, the success comes from the actions, right? We have to start with our programming and telling ourselves positive things like we are good enough and we are smart enough and we are strong enough. I wanted to talk about these. He mentioned these in the chapter. These are people who I don't know why I still have it in this view. Okay. Some winners throughout history. So raise your hand if you've heard of Helen Keller. Yeah, everybody has, right? She was deaf and blind. Most people who have both of those things going on in their life are going to be like, woe is me, I can't do anything because I've got this is going on, I've got this going on, and I can't achieve anything. Instead, she had positive self-esteem, positive self-worth and value, and was like, you know what, I can still achieve my goals. And she dedicated her life to helping people who are less fortunate. Raise your hand if you've heard of Albert Einstein. He failed his college entrance exams. You've heard of Galileo. So he was actually groomed to be a tailor. So he was a tailor. He dropped out of the factory and went into history. All right, Abe Lincoln. He failed at what he was trying to do so many times that everyone believed he should have given up. And if you read his, autobiography, you would probably say the same thing. You probably should have given up. So some other people that he talked about in here were Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison. All of these guys wrote about their self-worth and early feelings of that. So even when they were not, before they were successful, before they achieved anything, they wrote about their value and what they knew they could achieve. Okay. So having that positive self-esteem comes before the success comes. You have to have that positive self-esteem in order to achieve any of the great things that all of these people achieved. I like this quote. I know you guys have probably heard this quote. It's a really popular quote. The people who matter don't mind, and the people who mind don't matter. Everybody write that down. The people who matter don't mind, and the people who mind don't matter. Who wants to tell me what that means to you? The people who matter don't mind, people who mind don't matter. Beatrice?
Basically, this quote is basically saying that the way you see yourself is the only way that matters. Basically, people who tell you that try to bring you down and try to bring your confidence down are not people you should listen to.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Yeah. The only opinion that really matters is your self-esteem, your own opinion, your self-worth. So if you feel like something you're doing is wrong, maybe you need to change it. Or maybe if you think something negative about yourself, you either need to change what you're doing or you need to change your perspective and your beliefs on it, right? If you have people in your life that are constantly giving you negative programming, saying negative things to you, then they don't matter. They should not be somebody you're listening to. If you have people who love you unconditionally, want to support you, want you to succeed, the people who matter, they're not going to give you that negative programming. Okay. All right, the 5 to thrive. He talks about this in this chapter too. So 1, look, walk, talk, and sit your best. And this is what Miss Nicole was mentioning. Present yourself in the best possible way. I had a teacher in high school. I remember it because I thought it was the weirdest thing until she explained it to me one day. She would give us extra credit if we dressed up on test days. So when we had a test in school, she would give us extra credit if we dressed in business professional clothing. If we wore, you know, a nice dress or slacks and a blazer or things like that. If you dressed up business professional, she would give you extra credit. Who knows why she did that? Why do you guys think she did that?
To build your confidence, to start the day off great.
Yeah, because when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good, right? So if I wake up, and this is true too, who has ever been sick? You wake up and you're not feeling great, and you're like, you know what, I have to go do these things. I've got to go to work or run these errands or go to school. And you kind of dress in, I remember going to high school in like sweatpants and a baggy t-shirt because I was not feeling good. No makeup on, my hair thrown up in a bun. And I still have days like that. If I'm not feeling my best, I, you know, dress down. Who has that? Who does that? If you're not feeling your best, you dress down. And the way you present yourself makes a big difference. If you're sitting there with the body language of your arms crossed, you're kind of slouched over, you're looking down. We talk about ways to focus, and that's not one of them, right? When you're in school, if you're sitting up straight, if you're presenting yourself like you're focusing, it almost is like it's tricking your mind into thinking you're focusing. So the way that you express yourself on the outside, here's the thing. You don't want to reflect how you're actually feeling on the inside on the outside. You want to reflect how you want to feel on the inside on the outside. So if I'm not feeling my best today, but I know that I want to perform my best today, I'm going to make myself look my best today. That way I can perform that way, right? Okay, the second one, introduce yourself properly. Everybody in here who has been in a gold meeting where we're talking about confidence knows how to introduce yourself. Who can tell me some of the things that are important when you're introducing yourself? Go ahead and say them. I know Maz, I see your hand up, but I can't see everybody. So just go ahead and unmute yourself and say something.
A good way to introduce yourself properly is have confidence, and don't hesitate, because then you'll just get more embarrassed.
Yeah, so having confidence. Raise your hand if you think that it's important to make eye contact when you're introducing yourself. Good. Raise your hand. It's very important to make eye contact. It shows respect and it shows confidence. Raise your hand if you think it's important to have a firm handshake when you introduce yourself. Yeah?
Ma'am.
Raise your hand if you think it's important to say something when you introduce yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah, so all of those things. Okay, the third one, write down your BAG. Your BAG. I want to see the notes on this one. Homework assignment too. So your BAG stands for your blessings, your accomplishments, and your goals. So you're going to write down your blessings, your accomplishments, and your goals. I do this every morning when I drink my cup of coffee in the morning. I try to write down, I have a notebook at home, and I write down, I do similar to this. I write a few different things. I write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. Every single day, 5 things that I'm grateful for. And that's what your blessings would be. You guys don't have to do 5 of them, or you can do as many as you want. You can just do 1, you can do 20, whatever you want. Those are your blessings, things that you are grateful for. Okay. Your accomplishments. I write down my wins from the day before, everything that I feel like I did really well the day before. So write down your accomplishments. Those can be, you guys can you have some freedom here. You can do those for the day before, or you could do your accomplishments in the past year. Think of everything you've achieved. And then your goals. Write down your goals every day. If your goal is black belt, write down black belt, fall 2025, fall 2021, whatever it is, write that down every single day. So your homework assignment, this one's a little bit different. We're not going to be able to finish this tomorrow, what we're going to do, everyone's going to do this for today, and we'll talk about that. Well, not tomorrow, but on Monday, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what some of you guys will share some of yours. Not everybody has to share that. But I want you to do this. Here, I'll go to the homework slide. Your assignment is to do this for 7 days. Anybody who does this for 7 days, turn it in and you'll get a star. Okay? So you can turn it in at the studio, you can drop it off, you can post it on the Facebook group, you could show it on Match Chat and share some of them, okay? But I want you to write down your BAGs every day for 7 days. Who can tell me what B stands for? Go ahead.
Blessing.
Your blessings. Good. What is the A?
Accomplishments.
Accomplishments. And everybody, what does the G stand for?
Goals.
Your goal. Very good. How many days are you guys going to do this?
7 great days.
7 days. You guys are going to do this every day, and anyone who does this is going to get a star. And you guys will see it helps you start off your day with a little bit more focus, a clear understanding of what you need to focus on that day because of what your goals are, right? A reminder of what your goals are helps you start your day in a positive mindset because you're talking about your blessings, your gratitude, everything you're grateful for, and your achievements, everything that makes you confident. Okay. The other thing that I want you guys to do today is to find one person to compliment, but go over the top. Give them a really strong compliment. Make it count. Make it real. Do not say, oh, I love your outfit today if you don't. Say something real. Say something genuine. Compliment somebody. Maybe your parents. Maybe your mom is an amazing, amazing, amazing cook, and you want to express that to her. Maybe your dad is really good at helping you build Legos. Whatever it is, give somebody a compliment today. So everybody pick one person today to give a compliment to, and you actually have all weekend to do this. So I would love to see you guys give one person a day for the rest of the weekend, but we're going to share that on Monday. So on Monday, we're going to talk about our BAGs, and we're going to talk about who we complimented, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think that is it. Hold on, Skylar. Okay, that is it. So I hope everybody has an amazing Thursday. I'm going to hang on for 1 minute if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys all in class. Bye, everybody.
I did want to remind everyone to, or the little ones at least, to come on tomorrow for book reading.
Yes. Miss Cole is reading a book to everybody tomorrow at 11:30. So make sure you hop on. We have an extra Mat Chat tomorrow, but we're doing a different little book. So she's going to read the book and then talk about it with you guys. So everybody hop on Zoom tomorrow morning at 11:30. Okay, bye everybody.